On this episode, we're talking to Sal about
Motor City Steampunk Con? SteamCon? Steam what?
Oh, what about Pod Bros? Huh? What again? Huh? Podbros.com? What?
Welcome to Media Litter Sandwich. With me is Mark Monster from
CrazyMark.com.
I'm Toaden from Toaden.com and YouTube.com/ToadenK. And I know I didn't say William, but it's all about William.
Always all about William.com.
And with us today is our guest from Motor City Steampunk Con.
Hey.
You mind go ahead and introducing yourself?
My name is Sal Palland, and I am the con chair of Motor City Steampunk Con.
Sal, how long have you been doing, conventions?
I've been, God, I can't tell you how long I've been doing conventions. I've been doing them since high school, like little sprout. And I just love them. I went to sci-fi commissions, anime conventions, like fantasy conventions, all of them,
Okay, how long have you been organizing, or at least been somewhat organizing or volunteering inside conventions?
I've been volunteering for about 5 years, and I think I've been organizing for 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what year of the SteamCon is it?
This is only year 2.
Oh, so hey, we've almost 2 years.
We're a baby. Hey, it's a girl.
It's still a baby.
All right. So the SteamCon, I'm trying so hard not to say Steampunk Con, but
if you say Steampunk Con, I will not slap you. You can say Steampunk Con, SteamCon, whatever. It's cool. It's all steampunk.
Cool. Steampunk, baby.
Well, just looking at Mark, I know you're familiar with steampunk and
Yeah. It's all this stuff with steam and gears and lots of little
slap a gear on it.
Brass gears. Yeah, slap a gear on it and have a lot of little accessories and whatnot, and throw on some goggles and maybe some periscopes and make it polished and used and scratched up brass, maybe green it out a little bit, get a lot of leather, and boom, that's what you got.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a steampunk con and, let's say, a comic convention?
Well, I think it's like the content, because at a steampunk con, we're very DIY, like, you make your own outfits and stuff like that. So you're going to kind of look at the outfits and the uniforms that people are making, as opposed to going to view the books and the comics and the artists that are there, for art and stuff like that. You look at people's contraptions, because they're just amazing, some of the things. I went to one con where I saw a metal, like, Queen Victoria, and she was just wheeling down the hall. It was amazing. She had a great rig. It was awesome.
Yeah, I kind of noticed the big difference, because people in Comic Cons and anime, they make their own stuff too. I see the biggest difference is when it comes to anime and Comic Cons, people tend to emulate a person or place or thing or emerging. Meanwhile, in steampunk, they create their own characters. Like, oh, I'm just me. I just happen to be steampunk
I
today.
have to agree with you. I mean, I think it's really cool the way that people at anime cosplay actually do all that stuff. But I think it's really fun when you see someone say, "Oh, I'm going to be the mechanic of this airship that's coming out of Transylvania," and they're dressed to the nines. You're like, I can see it. I can see this mechanic. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump in here real quick, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but would you attribute all this steampunk, sensation to the reboot of that film Wild Wild West?
Oh, I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I knew I'd go there. But really, is there anything beforehand that you're going to point to, what revamped the whole thing? What made it popular?
It started back in the 80s, and I think it was Jeter who spoke about it, like cyberpunk and steampunk, who actually brought it into being.
Necromancer?
It was Gibson with the Necromancer, yeah. But I mean, I think there's books like, Tim Powers with his Anubis Gates. It was amazingly steampunk. I mean, the whole thing. So, I mean, you can't just say it came from Wild Wild West, because Wild Wild West was kind of playing on the theme of being steampunk.
Yeah, it's just kind of like how everybody will say, wow, why did Comic-Cons take off? And they all go, Big Bang Theory,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so, but I think it's also the variety of their guests they get and the things they can show. So I don't know. One certainly attributes to the other, but I don't think steampunk was like Wild Wild West,
But I'm also getting a hint of goth and vampirism in
Yes.
there too. So can we see vampires happening there? Any kind
Well,
of
it's
like
really cool because
sanguinarians?
next year because that's the thing. Like we're bringing in goths, we're bringing in the diesel punks and everybody else.
Yeah.
The diesel punks
Oh,
being
no,
the
diesel
40s
yeah,
and
okay.
stuff like that. But next year I'm going to do dark Victoriana, and we're going to go totally like dark, like have Jack the Ripper, have all the villains and
right.
everything. It's going to be really great.
So you're saying that this can really go off on the side road of goth and horror?
Yeah, and like inventor
vampires.
stuff, and queens, and like explorers, everything. A little bit of everything is in steampunk.
And so that kind of romance also.
Yes.
Great. Love it.
Now, I want to talk about networking for a little bit. This area, the Detroit area, and even further, has just a huge, like, steampunk type, it's big in the area. I see there's events happening all around Monroe, which is, like, an hour and a half south for those that have no idea about Michigan geography. I see events happening in Monroe, Detroit Zoo, and further north, east, west. How do you get people together for a convention, or is it just a network that's already there? Or do you feel like you're putting some of it together?
I think it's a network that's already there. You're talking about Monroe. That's the Monroe Steampunk Society. Mm-hmm. There's a Jackson Steampunk Society. There's a Flint Steampunk Society. Lansing has Capital Steam. There's Detroit Steampunk Collective. So there's a bunch of groups already. And then we just took that network and, had events and did stuff. And then we said, hey, we're having a con. And this, naturally built network starts like spinning it out. So I think we kind of like worked it out that way, like to have, like that network and stuff.
So all of them are working on the con in one way or another.
I would say they're all promoting the con. They're not all working on the con. They're all like, they put in submissions for panels, like bands, things like that. But I think it's really cool because someone from every one of those groups is doing a panel at our con. Mm-hmm. So if you want to support your group or support the con, you just come out and you can listen to your person do a panel on funeral customs or
what
things.
Funeral customs?
Yeah, like funeral customs.
Oh wow, this is cool. Yeah, for all right, we got the attention of all you horror and death peeps out there. Tell us some more. What are some other panels you'll have?
Okay, I didn't bring my scheduling sheet, but we'll have funeral customs, fighting panels, belly dance panels, Bollywood panels.
So not everything has a steampunk feel to it or theme to it.
Part of our theme this year is Bollywood, so you get a Bollywood class, but you also get the steampunk,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
merging the cultures. Mm-hmm. Which steampunk is partially
right,
does.
and we're going to talk about colonialism during the time when England colonialized India and things like that. So we're going we're going the factual way and we're going the fantasy way too. So
I just want to watch some Bollywood movies now.
There we go.
I want to check out that belly dance.
Make Balliana.
Yeah, belly dance. Come on, everybody show up now. Now we're going to go check out the belly dance.
Right.
Here.
Right.
Standing room only.
And we're going to be there too on the Saturday, which is July 15th.
Yes.
I will not belly dance. No.
Oh, you don't know
No
what
one
you'll do.
wants to
You
see
don't know
that.
what you'll do.
Watch, you show up. Now, we're coming straight from BolaCon, and Mark is just going to show up. Like, I got to change my belly dance thing from...
I'll still be dressed as Bigfoot.
That would be awesome to see Bigfoot belly dance.
Bigfoot.
He does. He does.
Really?
That's one of the characters on the TV show, Billy Bigfoot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to see your skills now. I'm like...
Yeah, Bigfoot's at any dances. Ooh.
Yeah, we do have dances there. Opening night Friday, we have a Welcome to the Con dance that we throw for everybody. Booze is provided, everything else. And then Saturday, we have a dance where DJ Vortex is going to be playing it. Mm-hmm. And we'll have a cash bar set up in the ballroom and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
Now, so we're over here going, wow. So, okay, now why did you want to get involved with steampunk per se, or SteamCon instead of maybe something like a horror con or a sci-fi con or an anime cutesy con?
Or a con devoted to the theme song of Alf, because Mark would be there in a heartbeat.
People ask me that all the time, and it was like, I grew up gaming. Like, I was like D&D, all that stuff, and Pathfinder and everything. So coming from gaming, going to SteamCon, like where you make your own costumes, you do all that stuff, you fill your own persona, it was really intriguing to me. And then when I found out there was like a con, and I went to the World Steam Expo, the first ones we had with Morgan, who's now doing YumaCon, it was really great. It was awesome. So I volunteered, and then YumaCon, took over World Steam Expo, and then there were some other ones, and then those went away. And I thought, why don't I do a different one that is more fun, and it concentrates on the things at the core, like fun, steampunk, and like, goth and everything else, to try to involve everybody, but the main theme being let's have fun. And I just decided to do it.
I mean, that's crazy. Back again to the goth and vampire aspect. So there's a lot of peeps out there, the sanguinarians, the werewolves, the vampires. Are you really, I'd encourage you all to show up, because this could be way cool. And on a Saturday night, oh yeah.
So how many people are organizing this?
So you would think there'd be a ton, but there's actually only about 20 people organizing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like me and my core team of people who put it on. Don Watts, who's the mayor of Steampunk. Meg, like Raffoon, who's like my ops extraordinaire. Barbara Jean, who's like, also does ops, but she also puts together the entire schedule and everything. It's like a lot of work.
Okay. Yeah. Because, I've helped organize a con, and there's way more than 20 people. I don't know how many people are involved.
We're going to have like a ton of volunteers, hopefully.
Right.
Volunteer. We're going to have a ton of volunteers, but you only need like a certain amount of people at the top to like run everybody.
Right.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How many it's okay if you don't know the exact number.
Right, I'm like,
but
math?
how many panel program hours are there?
Oh gosh. Okay. This is math.
It always amazes me on how, like, when you get down to the more volunteer type conventions and not the big for-profit ones, how there's usually more program hours. It always amazes me on that. That's why I'm asking. Like,
why does that amaze you?
Because PinguaCon has over 400 program hours, and YumaCon has like 50.
Yeah. They have like so many things, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I think we're really heavy on programming, so I don't even know. Maybe 40 hours of programming?
Okay.
Yeah. So, we have extra little things in there and stuff, but I think we're really program heavy. Like we really want people to know about Victorian. I mean, like you already have people dressed and partying and stuff, but I really think we want to put the knowledge out there. Like, this is Victorian age. It was really cool. You should study it. Yeah.
Now, question here: is there going to be a costume contest?
Yes, there's going to be a costume contest. Yes.
Tell us, give us details.
We are going to have it on the stage, but what we're going to do is we're also going to have people walking around and giving out contest ribbons, like you're a winner because I saw you, like throughout the day, so like people can have
sweet.
so you'll never know, you can like be in the official costume contest, or you could be in the one on the street.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
a nice little twist.
Yeah.
And that's very hard to try to be like, well, I was there. I'm the best dressed person. Yeah, but did anyone see you?
I
mean,
got
you
a
can't-
ribbon.
Yeah, you can't. Now, you mentioned that there's other contests as well.
Yes. Okay, so we like contests, I guess. We're gonna have a home brewing contest for beer and mead.
Mead.
You bring your beer and your mead when we open up on Friday, and we'll put it aside, and then we have judges that will do the contest. Meg is the one running that, and we have extra special judges she's going to tell us about. I think we have Andrew Sarnes from Rustic Crow Distillery, like judging and stuff like that. So we have a good time. Meg usually gets drunk when she's announcing the winners, but it's funny. I remember the first year I was like, "Are you drunk, Meg?" And she's like, "Shh, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it."
Oh, good. Mead can be very addictive.
Forgot to. No, you're supposed to smell,
Right.
sip, and spit.
No.
That's
She's
how
like,
you're
smell, sip, and glug.
Yes, especially with the mead.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that contest, and then we're gonna have a beard and a beard and mustache grooming contest. Where
Hey there, Toad.
I might
Toad's
have a mushroom.
I
practicing.
know, right? You have to like you could have one. You
Yeah.
just need the wax.
I might have a mushroom in here somewhere.
No. Mustache.
A
not mushroom.
mustache.
So
Yeah,
I
got one.
think we're gonna have 3 categories. It's gonna be like grooming, like a fast like grooming, like with its tools and everything. A best in show, like they're already frilled up and everything, and then like natural beard and mustache kind of thing. So I don't know. You could be just rolled out of bed. Just rolled out of bed.
Hopefully the natural comes first.
Yes, and then it's the other ones. Yeah.
If I did one of the other ones, I would go up there knowing that I'm going to lose and grab like some fake hair dye. Just spray all the hair dye.
We have girls who like glue the hair to their face. We have guys who like curl it and like, I mean, it's really cool.
Would you say this con was family friendly?
Yes. Yes, to an extent. I think before 6, the con is very family friendly. Okay. You can do it, but after 6, after like 7, I'd say it's more adult oriented. Like we have parties and we have things like that.
And what time does the con close on Sunday?
Sunday, the con's going to close at 4 because we'll do our closing ceremony from 3 to 4, and then we'll do a little bit more vending. But then basically we're closed at 4.
The reason I ask is because I see more and more conventions making Sunday their kids' day.
Oh, okay.
That's why I ask, and because it does make sense. If kids are if it's more family friendly before 6 o'clock, like it is at a lot of cons, because a lot of cons will have like their big dance or the big thing Saturday night, and a lot of people will leave and then change for that, and then come with another costume or whatever. And then Sunday, people just kind of roll out of bed and go, and they might bring their kids along, and Sunday being the more kid day.
I don't know. That all seems like a misnomer, because where we're going to be at, it's going to be kid-friendly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 5.
Well, okay, for kid, I mean, we are kid-friendly because we have henna art, like we have henna painters that are going to paint your hands and stuff, and we have crafts and other things. So we are kind of kid-friendly during the day, but I don't want people to think that. You can bring them at night to swim and stuff, but there's going to be parties where you need your ID to get in, and, bands playing and things like that. So we just want to be respectful of, the children and their parents, and tell them that, really it's not much to do at night for them.
How late does it go till on Saturday night?
Like 4 or 5. People are staggering.
Programming ends
2:30. Yes.
Programming ends at 2:30.
Yes. That's when our dance ends.
I figure you're talking about like the room parties open, and then it's all then that's it. But you actually will have programming going on.
I think like our parties we consider programming, and they'll be going till 2:30.
Oh, okay.
But like everything else kind of wraps up around 12. But then you're like you're into your like hours
okay, because I don't consider parties programming.
All right, well then our programming closes at 12.
You're not because you want a level of that's not really my part. That's in a hotel suite, which is privately being so and so is paying for it, so that's their thing.
Right.
We are not responsible what happens to it, although if there's an issue we will do what we can. That gives you a level of deniability.
Right. Yeah. So
but I just love a vampire or steam party.
What is this goth horror thing that you like?
Because I'm also known as Mark Monster.
Well, then
he also spent last Saturday at the City Club, so it takes.
Well, you have
to
wait till next year, Mark.
Telling
for that.
fortunes, interpreting the ghost cards. All of a sudden, there's silence when I say ghost cards, and there's like, ooh.
Well, I know William has something he asked.
Come on,
William. We haven't had any questions from the side of a photographer or a videographer or the side of people roaming, and I know you have to have at least.
Ask me, William.
Well, from the side of a photographer, one question I would have, not being able to go and see it right away, is how well lit is this the con going to be?
I guess the Sheraton, we're having it at the Sheraton in Romulus, and they have an atrium that is all open. So, like during the day, you'll have plenty of natural light. Wow. The vending area is going to be, I guess it's vending area stuff, but they're going to have lights all around the area, so it should be pretty well lit. I think it's going to be pretty well lit for your, At night, you have to use a flash.
Well, then they don't have to worry about creepy things and dark corners and dark shadows. Right. Except for me, or
One thing we notice: some cons are really open. They're like, hey, look, before you grab pictures of people, just ask first, or they tell people ahead of time, which it's mostly VidCon and Playlist Live and video type ones where they tell people ahead of time, like, hey, look, you will be on camera, you will be in pictures.
That's kind of what we do, because like when we have press come in and we have like, you know, photographers taking pictures, we just put in the program like, hey, there's gonna be photographers here, you might get your picture in here, you might get this, so just be aware, and you know, if you don't want to come to the ops or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of stuff's good to know. Because you get somebody like Mark, for instance, which will start streaming everything. Meanwhile, while it's okay for just an attendee be doing their Snapchat because they're not. It's safe for us to assume they don't know any better.
Right.
But for someone that might have a press pass that we would assume would know better. They need to know whether it's okay to start streaming around. Hey, look at all these people. There are some cons now where you can't do that.
Well, we make a disclaimer because we do acknowledge individual rights, but at the same time, we make a disclaimer. Hey, we're all here. We're all going to be on film. We're all going to be on photography, but that's just the way it is. I mean, and nobody's had a problem with it. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's always good. I'm not making fun of any cons that do otherwise.
Right.
Because the first time I went to a con like that, and I've told this story before, I was very like, why? I don't quite understand. I'll obey the rules. I just don't 100% understand. And then a story came out of people bringing their foster kids, which you can't have pictures up and stuff like that. And they're saying this is the only one of the few places we could bring our foster kids because we are not scared of their picture going up online.
Oh, okay.
And I know that might be a small thing, but that's why some cons are like, yeah, we're all about not letting people just film willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, most of them, if you have a disclaimer, it's perfectly okay. And I like the disclaimers because, well, I'm a videographer and I want to get the feel of the place.
Right. Without,
Yeah, I try to do that with just pictures. If you look at a lot of my cosplayers at whatever event, you'll see that I have just a couple pictures of just the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I tell photographers and videographers is be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't go into a really dark room, like where there might be some flashlights because the rapper's going off, and then bring your own flash that blinds everybody every time you take a picture.
It's like, I mean, it's like using...
It's a learning experience,
common
too.
sense,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to promote... What's a better way to phrase this?
If you had to really get your con out there to get people to show up, what would you tell them right now?
Free naked ladies. No, I'm joking.
Yes, I'm there.
I'm there.
Reminder: the video version of this show is way different from the audio version of this show.
No, I would just say you want to have a good time and party like it's 1889. I mean, just come to my con. It's great. I mean, we have circus performers, we have bands, we have like Bollywood, we have everything. Yeah, we have authors, we have everything.
Circus performers.
Wow.
Yes.
Will they breathe fire, eat fire?
They have a rig. They're going to be doing rigging stuff up on it, and I think they might be doing some acro balancing and some fire.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Fire is hard to... Now, does the hotel know that?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Okay. Because I know that's a process.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think mostly they're going to be doing like the rigging stuff and then the acro balancing, which will be really cool.
Very
so,
cool. Like
yeah.
the Circus Soleil.
And they're going to have a workshop of acro balancing too. So
a lot of what we've talked about just folds and overlaps so many of the other cons. Like all the contortionist circus stuff. I see similar things at Renaissance festivals, and of course we've talked about overlapping with anime, comics,
well, it's because
horror cons.
They're like we're all drawing from the same pool. We're all trying to like be innovative and creative and stuff like that. So one person, like my con finds a person, the other cons see it, they go, wow, that's great. They hire them. Then it's like, so it's trying to keep ahead of everybody and keep, new stuff coming in.
Yeah, you draw them from the same pool, and yet every con, it seems to expand a little bit this way, then expands that way. It's just wonderful the way how it all sinks into one community.
Yeah.
And you really can't restrict yourself to one community. And I feel it's the same way to anyone covering events or looking for more events to go to.
Right.
Once again, it's Sal from
Motor City Steamcon. And I also wanted to say, like, at night we have our Moonlight Cabaret, which is kind of risque burlesque, and it's going to be going on Friday and Saturday. So it should be awesome.
Ooh,
And
baby.
we might try to get William perform because he's from
allaboutwilliam.com.
Mark Monster.
From crazymark.com.
I'm Scott Toaden My Alley at Toaden.com, YouTube.com/ToadenK. And of course, you can find us at MediaLearSandwich.com. And you will find us at Motor City SteamCon.
www.motorcitysteamcon.com.
We will be doing a show on July 15th, and also on the July 15th and the 16th will be at Bolacon.
Bolacon. You can find out more at bolacon.com. We'll be at Woodland Lanes, 14th, 15th, and 16th.
There's always a billion events going around, so I always say check out as many as
Come
you
to my
can.
con.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our conversation.
Have a good
Bye.
night.